Hello and welcome back to We Talk Boxing. And today I'm going to be discussing Tyson Fury and his potential exhibition bout against Hafthor Bjornsson. Messed up with that name there. Anyway, so now just before begin, I'd like to say that the title of this video, may offend some people. But if it does, then I mean no harm, and just listen to what I gotta say, pretty much. But however, as always, please like, subscribe, share, and comment onto this video as well. Thank you. So, Tyson Fury has stated that, he wants to challenge Hafthor Bjornsson in an exhibition bout in London in November. And he thinks that this fight could potentially be a sellout, up to maybe 70,000 people. And it may also be a pay-per-view fight as well. Honestly, I don't know what to say with that, to be fair. I think Tyson is Tyson. That's all I could pretty much say. But, my first thought is, this ain't April Fool's, Like, what is Tyson on about? But anyway, as I said, I've seen this article and I started laughing because, Tyson is coming out with some, some crazy things recently, some things that are just hilarious. Do you know what I mean? And the only way this fight, to me, sells out a stadium is if it's a free event. Do you know what I mean? And, and even then, Tyson may have to pay people to come in and watch. Because it's not a fight that people want to see. Do you know what I mean? No one wants to see a world champion boxer, fight against a novice. And that's pretty much what it is, Hafthor, he's only had one exhibition bout that I know of, and I think that was against Eddie Hall. Do you know what I mean? But realistically, he's a novice, he's a weightlifter. Do you know what I mean? He couldn't potentially even beat maybe an English level heavyweight champion. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's where it is. Yes, he's big, he's tall, he's got power. That's all he's got going for him. He hasn't really got any boxing skills. Do you know what I mean? But Tyson thinks it could sell out, up to 70,000 people and be on pay-per-view. This guy's funny as fuck. Sorry for my language there, but he is hilarious, to be fair. But I just want to state as well that I want to make it clear here that, this video isn't about Hafthor, I haven't got no issue with Hafthor, because at the end of the day, it's not him who's saying these ridiculous statements, it's Tyson, Tyson's the one that I have the problem with, is a joke, and he's holding up the heavyweight division, he's said on many occasions, that he's retired, but he's still got the belt, he's not giving up that belt. Do you know what I mean? If you're retired, give it up and just do these exhibition bouts. Then I won't be talking about it because you'll be doing what you said you're going to be doing. You know what I mean? To me, rather than take an exhibition bout against someone who is a novice and clearly, can't fight and all they have is a puncher's chance, then it's pointless. And he's in the past he's also offered out the UFC champion in a boxing match. He clearly, in a boxing match, is going to win. Do you know what I mean? The UFC champion would get outboxed quite easy. Do you know what I mean? Because that's not his main forte. But if it was a mixed martial arts fight, Tyson would get his jaw broke. Guarantee it. Do you know what I mean? I don't see him standing up with Ngannou in a UFC fight. It'd be game over. But, you know what I mean? Like, what could I say? Do you know what I mean? Tyson, his credibility, at the end of the day, when he retires and AJ retires, when you're looking and comparing both of their careers, to me and most people are going to say AJ has the better resume. He's fought the better opposition. He hasn't, he could have easily ducked Usyk in the rematch and said, you know what, I'm going to go and fight Hafthor Bjornsson. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to have an exhibition bout. He's not doing that. Do you know what I mean? He's gone back in there into the lion's den, and he's going to try and contend and beat the person who beat him. He's going to try and capture his belts back, and after that, win, lose or draw. Do you know what I mean? He will continue fighting. He will try and take some of those tougher, opposition in the heavyweight division. Do you know what I mean? I'd like to see AJ versus, you know what I mean, a potential Wilder or maybe a Dylan White, you know what I mean? Again, do you know what I mean? Brilliant fights in my eyes. Do you know what I mean? But you got Tyson on the other hand, who's just too busy chatting shit really and offering novices out and UFC fighters rather than looking and thinking, you know what, you know what I mean? I'm just gonna take I'm just gonna take an easy fight for now. You know what I mean? I'm gonna fight against maybe, I don't know, a top 20 or top 30 opponent just to kind of, you know what I mean, shake off the ring rust and keep myself active, sort of thing. And I could make a little bit of change at the same time. That's what Tyson should be doing rather than fighting against novices or calling them out and trying to say, yeah, I could sell out a 70,000 seat stadium. Do you know what I mean? And what is quite ironic, really, you know what I mean, when I read this, you know what I mean, it was literally pretty much the same time as AJ put something out in the media. Do you know what I mean? AJ put something out, and then Tyson's coming out. Do you know what I mean? Like at every chance that he gets, he tries to discredit. You know what I mean? AJ. You know what I mean? He wants to put his name in the limelight. You know what I mean? He wants to try and overshadow AJ at every chance he gets. Do you know what I mean? Because you know what I mean. He wants to be seen he wants to be seen as like the Britain's best, and you know what I mean. He wants to stay relevant in people's minds, etc., etc. Do you know what I mean? It's just madness. To be fair, if you're gonna talk shit, at least pull it up. You know what I mean? He is a brilliant boxer. I get that. You know what I mean? But you're holding up the division, and there's still plenty of fights out there for you. But anyway, do you know what I mean? I feel as if I'm ranting a little bit here. Do you know what I mean? And I wanted to kind of keep this video fairly brief, so I'm just gonna get straight to the point. Do you know what I mean? And my question to you guys is: do you think Tyson's suffering from some sort of like delirium, which is, you know what I mean, some sort of like mental confusion? And the reason why I'm suggesting this is because he hasn't really been himself, since the Wilder fights. Do you know what I mean? And he's been coming out with some mad, ridiculous statements. Do you know what I mean? I have to rephrase my tone there. Not mad, but he's been coming out with some ridiculous statements. Do you know what I mean? And look, I mean, and I know some of you guys are probably thinking, you know what I mean? Why are you being a cunt to this guy? You know what I mean? Who has suffered with, you know what I mean, mental health in the past, etc., etc., etc. But my justification is, you know what I mean, you know what I mean, he's being totally erratic with some of his statements, you know what I mean, like that he's come out with in the media. Like, for example, you know what I mean, he suggested that he won't come back, you know what I mean, out retirement unless someone offers him, you know what I mean, half a bill. Who's going to do that? Do you know what I mean? No one, that, you know what I mean, that I know of. I don't care who you're fighting. Do you know what I mean? You could be fighting God. I don't think someone's going to pay that. Do you know what I mean? And also as well, you know what I mean, like he's suggested as well that he would fight AJ for free in the stadium, and that everyone who comes could have free entry. That's never ever 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 gonna happen. No promoter's gonna put it on because they ain't gonna be making anything. You know what I mean? You're gonna lose more money than it's worth. It's just crazy. Do you know what I mean? It's ridiculous. Um, I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Like these statements and him, you know what I mean? Like him suggesting that he'd fight a novice on the pay-per-view. It's just it all, you know what I mean? To me, it all suggests that he's not thinking straight. Do you know what I mean? And he's, you know what I mean? It's either that or he's potentially trying to throw out bait to the media. You know what I mean? To try and get himself relevant and trying to get people talking about him. You know what I mean? All this content about Tyson. You know what I mean? To stay relevant in people's ears, really. But anyway, do you know what I mean? Like, I'd personally, you know what I mean? If Tyson came out and said, you know what, like, I'm gonna fight maybe an old school fighter, do you know what I mean, who's retired, etc. Someone like a Klitschko or a David Hay. I love that fight, by the way. I mean, or you know what I mean, Lennox Lewis or someone like that. You know what I mean? I'll be more interested and intrigued to watch that. And I know that, you know what I mean, they're old and they're past it and they ain't trained, etc. But I'd rather watch that than a Hafthor Bjornsson fight because the guy can't fight. You know what I mean? No, you know what I mean, I'm not being out of order to him. You know what I mean? He's been in the ring with Eddie Hall, but he's not a boxer. Do you know what I mean? He's not a boxer. And who's going to be interested in paying for that? Do you know what I mean? He's trying to be like you know what I mean? He's trying to be like the heavyweight version of Floyd Mayweather. Do you know what I mean? Like by trying to do all these exhibitions, etc. You know what I mean? Just stick to your game. You know what I mean? Fight your competitors. Fight geezers that are relevant today. You know what I mean? Not someone who like Hafthor. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, It's not a short video now, but just let me know your thoughts about this potential fight. Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Would you be interested? Would you watch it? Would you go to the stadium and pay X amount of money to watch, you know what I mean, Tyson versus Hafthor? Would you pay for it on pay-per-view? Do you know what I mean? Like, and do you feel as if, you know what I mean, Tyson's probably took one or too many punches, you know what I mean, from Wilder? But anyway, as always, please subscribe and comment and share this video for more boxing related content. Bless.